So on October 12th, Bristol, Connecticut had a triple officer involved shooting. Basically 3 officers got ambushed on a domestic disturbance call. We heard about it, had a bunch of guys reach out on Patreon, guys that put those dudes through SWAT school and having a hard time processing it. And none of the details were out. We just heard that 3 officers got ambushed, and obviously it's horrific, and as the details started to emerge, the picture was getting painted worse and worse and worse. And I checked my DMs one day on social, and I had one of the guy's brothers reach out. He's like, hey, my brother's Alec, and he's laying in the hospital bed, and he is fucked up, and he really wants to talk to you. And I got goosebumps, I got all emotional, I called him, and we talked for about an hour in the hospital bed just about the whole process and everything that happened. Talked about Dustin and Alex and everything they went through that night. And, you know, I mean, you say things on the phone, you say them in passing, like if you need anything, call. Like whatever it is, just call, mentally check in. We can raise money for the families, like whatever you guys need. And Alec is really good buddies with the guys at Bald Bros, and we love those dudes, and we've worked with them in the past. And they called, and he's like, I'd really like for you guys to help let people know about the story, about the guys we lost, and memorialize them, and they made honor them patches. And, you know, just to take some time to remember their sacrifice, remember their story, and say their names, and remember the families they left behind. And something as small as a patch is a hat. I mean, we do it all the time for guys in the military. I mean, the memorial patches, and you carry them with you. This one is a little bit different, just in a sense of how the whole thing happened. I mean, they responded to a domestic disturbance call, nonviolent, in between family members to diffuse the situation. They walked up to this benign structure, and it was a complete ambush. And they got unloaded on from very close proximity with 80 rounds of 7.62, and all 3 officers were hit immediately. Alex Hamzy passed away, Dustin and DeMonte passed away, and they left families and children behind. Fortunately, Alex was able to maneuver out of the situation and come back and handle business and neutralize the suspect and save a lot of innocent people. But the weight of the loss that community is feeling, their families are feeling, you can't quantify it. And there's no immediate help unless we provide it. Unless the community gets behind these people, they say the names, they say the stories, they wear the patches. And really, what do they need now? They need unconditional support, and they need funding. Like, they are a single income family, and when they pass away, all of it stops. So if we can do anything, we're going to do it, and we're going to help them. And Bald Bros has been badass enough to do a series of patches and hats, and they're going to run this thing. I think they're starting on Black Friday. We still got to get the details, and they're going to run it for the rest of the year and try to raise as much money as humanly possible. So from everybody here at GBRS, for me personally, I'm asking, if you have the ability, if you have the means to purchase a patch, to say their names, to buy a hat and hang it on your mantle and tell people the story and the sacrifice, I encourage you to do so. I'm doing so. Everybody in the shop is. And it is an honor for me to be able to slap that patch on my plate carry and wear it. And every police officer that I train from here on out, I will use that as a reference to how far they're willing to go. And the price is worth it. It is. That brotherhood, you cannot fake it. And they showed you that night. So if you get a chance to learn their names, to learn their story, and learn the sacrifice they made that day, it'll make you a better person. And if you are a law enforcement professional, if you're a professional in general, that story will make you better. And I'm honored and humbled to have the opportunity to share their story and support the families. And I hope you do too. So Bald Bros have been cool enough to knock out a couple different series for everybody. I know a bunch of law enforcement are wearing black. You know, obviously brown goes with everything, multicam. But bigger ones for centered up on the chest. My personal favorite is this one. You know, the end of watch numbers on there. Full names are on it, and I think it's important to say the names. The more you say them, the more you commit them to memory, the more other people get them. Even on the smaller ones, we've got badge numbers for Dustin, 221 and 245. For Alex, it's super important, man. Just to carry their name with you as much as humanly possible. And it's an honor for me to be able to throw them on and carry them with me. And really to use them as a teaching point and for motivation for the tactical professional, for all the law enforcement guys to see it. Like, why do you want to be a cop? Like, why do you want to serve? Why do you want to be part of a team? Why do you want to be part of a SWAT team or anything else? It's because dudes will do that for me. Outflanked, ambushed, superior firepower, already being shot, you still go back for your mate because it's what you said you were going to do. I haven't heard an example of heroism at its finest at that level in a long time, and I'm sure there's cases out there. This, to me, hits home just because of the proximity, the overwhelming firepower that they were forced into, and then the fact that they were all three hit at the same time, and they still maneuvered around, still trying to save their mate. It's humbling, man. It's humbling to be asked to help champion their cause. Anything we can do, we will do. Grateful for the opportunity.